If you're playing against someone that only needs a draw in the final round and you have nothing to play for, you just kind of give them a draw because they kind of earned it. I wasn't gonna do that though. He actually offered me a draw, like I think somewhere early in the game, and I was like, I'm gonna try to win. And if you beat me, great. So I played the Queen's Gambit. I want to set a good example. And he played a6. And here he played this move b5. And b5 makes a lot of sense because he attacks my bishop and puts the bishop on b7. But I knew there was something wrong with this move. And I was trying to figure it out over the board, and I got it, but I got it after playing my move. My original idea when he played b5 was retreat the bishop to this diagonal, like this. And for whatever reason, I went here. Like, I can't really explain it. I mean, I kind of played this move almost just by hand because I was 15 minutes late. And I put the bishop on b3 and I pressed the clock and I was like, why did I do that? Why? This is not... I wanted to play the same plan, but part of me also wanted to push for d5. Like, the reason I didn't put the bishop back here is because I thought, well, you know, in some positions you actually attack in the center. It's not the stupidest thought, but it's not what happens. So he played c5. I still was thinking, okay, you know, like, I'm gonna castle. He can overextend, right? And then now I'm gonna break his structure with my pawns, which I thought was... He played c5. There's some construction going on outside. If you hear it, please, you know how it works on this channel. I tell you about noise, you don't hear anything. So castles bishop b7. And I played a4, and I thought, I have a nice position. I'm gonna pressure his pawn. I'm gonna pressure this pawn. He has the ability, again, to overextend here, and then give me an opportunity to play in the center. I thought this was all very sensible. Again, b4 is a very bad move. It grants me access to the c4 square with my knight, which would be very nice. He thought and played this move knight d7. And I was like, really? Like, can't I take, knight c3, put pressure? I don't know. I mean, I thought about this. I thought I can just take on a8, and he would take with the queen. I play knight c3, and, I even thought he could play c4 here. No, not here, because knight takes b5. But I was, okay, like even b4, knight b5, I don't know. I didn't really see... Even I thought like bishop c6 was fine. It's not, because I can play e4 very quickly. So, I thought maybe I could just rip open the entire position because I'm more developed than him. He needs minimum 2 moves to get castled, but if I start trading... Of course, he doesn't have to take with the queen. He could take with the bishop, which looks a little bit silly. I thought maybe I can take, and then maybe, he would take with a knight or something, but then I would trade his queen. But even this position is completely equal. This pawn is weak, but it's kind of impossible to attack. Like, even knight c3, bishop c6 is just fine. So I thought for a long time after a4, knight d7, and I settled on queen e2. And again, the idea of queen e2 was baiting him into a fight. Like, I wanted him to go c4, because then the position becomes imbalanced, because then he will, have this structure, but I will try to play for the center, and I will try to go b3. I also calculated after queen e2, queen b6, and I thought it would get very complicated. I was gonna go knight c3. Now I'm forcing him to play this move, and I'm maybe even forcing him to play b4. And then I would play like knight b1 and maybe b3, and I mean, this looks completely ridiculous, but it's a complex game. And I thought, okay, I'm gonna play knight d2, or maybe even just blockade the pawns. That's not the best move, I should play knight d2. But the goal was, with queen e2, like, get him to hang on, or, come forward. Like, I'm sort of baiting him in, right? And he needs to play for a draw to get his norm. It's gonna be uncomfortable for him to suddenly get in a fight, because you start taking pretty big risk. Also, this is never gonna happen, right? Like, you literally, you get a +2 advantage if you take the pawn. Because again, you're so far behind in development, you can't get yourself in a position like this. You're too open. So, queen e2, he thought for a while that he played a great move. He played the top line of the engine. The second line of the engine is to play c4 and get into this fight with me. So my move made sense. My move was smart, and again, I thought about different ways to provoke him. But I didn't like that he would storm in with these pawns sometimes, and so I thought queen e2 was a really nice way to do that. And he played a great move. He played the best move, and that's why he's 2350 at 15 years old. After queen e2, very clearly indicating I would like to take his pawn on b5. He ignored everything. He did not play queen b6. He did not go c4. He played a move I didn't even expect. He played bishop e7. So my point was, I'm attacking his pawn, so he has to do something about it. Because, you know, he's either got to go here or defend his pawn. He said, no, I'm just going to get one step closer to castling. And the idea is that if I take, right, and then I have to take his rook, now he takes with the queen, and if I take on b5, he takes on f3. So he uses my own momentum against me, right? And after take queen f3, I don't have anything on the back rank. My king is wide open. This position sucks for white. Sucks. Terrible. I gotta go here to stop queen g4. And this is not the game we want, because he's gonna castle and be fine. So when he played bishop e7, I started realizing, oh, I don't have any pressure. This was a very nice move. Didn't see it at all. Literally, maybe it was like amoeba brain, or brain-eating amoeba, or whatever you want to call it. I mean, I thought my move was very sensible, because I target his pawn, I make way for, you know, my bishop, my position to put a piece on d1 if he starts coming forward. He said, nope, you're actually not threatening anything, because I'm going to use your momentum against you. And so at this point, I was like, all right, I gotta take, and now I have to develop a piece. I need to protect my rook. I need to attack this pawn with two different things. I am still, let it be known, baiting him into a fight. I'm still baiting him into a fight with the move c4. I really want him to play this move because it creates an imbalance in the center. After b4, I would play something like knight b5. The pawn is hanging. Maybe I'm gonna go e4, like it's a complex game. We still have to make a lot of important decisions. Maybe bishop f4, and now I access the dark squares. It's not easy at all after knight c3 because his position is very, very delicate. But again, he thought for a little while. He played the best move. He completely did not touch the c-pawn. And you may remember, like earlier in the game, I said playing b4 is terrible. Playing b4 is terrible because it gives me access to the light squares. This is not the same position. At this point when he plays b4, I don't have time to reroute. And even if I did, like, I know I lose my rook here, but let's just say the position was something like this. Even if I did, this is not the same position. It's still equal. Why? Because he's already caught up in development. He's a move away from castling. The whole point of getting him to overextend with these pawns in the queen's gambit positions is to move my knight to c4, use my lead in development to cause problems. I don't have a lead in development anymore, therefore I cannot cause problems. It's simply a logic puzzle. So he plays b4. I play knight a4 because I thought this was a smart move. And I thought he can't castle because if he castles, I'm going to take his knight, deflecting one of these pieces from the defensive c5. So I thought maybe he has to take, and here I was considering taking with the knight, castling, and maybe something like rook d1, rook c1, put my knight into his position. It's still not over. Again, I was like very much dead set on pressuring him for a very long time because he has the uncomfortable situation of having to play for a draw, which is not easy. So I played knight a4, and he castled. And I sat there like, what? He's castling? Why would he castle? What about the defense of this pawn? Is he gonna go here and keep this pawn protected? At which point, the game becomes very chaotic because he's trying to set up an attack on my king. I'm gonna play something like, let's say, rook d1. He's gonna play queen c7. I'm gonna play rook c1. I mean, this is complex stuff. I even saw a line here like d5, take, bishop takes, here, knight to b6, rook h5. If he takes, I have queen c2 mating him. I mean, he's gotta be really careful. So I took an f6. I was like, did he make a mistake? And he just went here. He just gave me the pawn. Why? Because he's opening the bishops. So if I take on c5, which is what I did, he's just gonna win the pawn back. I thought, what? Rook c1, rook c8, I'm gonna put my queen on b5, I'm gonna target the bishop, right? Like, I thought, okay, I'm at least gonna be two pawn. It's not good. None of it is good. I can also maybe play knight b6, trying to, you know, like trick him, and if here I take, suddenly my pawn's on b6, of course he can try to win it back. But I played the move rook c1, and I sat there and was like, oh my god. He can take my pawn. He can take my pawn. Because my rook is defending my rook and it's defending my pawn on c5. So when he takes after knight c5, he's gonna take and queen c5, and I'm much worse now. I'm not up a pawn, and he has non-stop pressure. Like, I am in a lot of trouble. So knight c5 got a brilliant move, and there was another really ridiculous idea here. if I play rook c5, he could maybe even sack his queen. Maybe. I was calculating this and I was like, ain't no way. He can play bishop b2, sacrificing the bishop on b7, and then playing like this and maybe even pawn to b3. And I was like, what is happening? How am I about to lose this game? The only thing keeping me alive here is that he can't put his rook on d8. Like, if he could play rook d8 and b2, I would be completely lost. So when he took on c5, I thought, all right, damage control right now. This dude has just completely outplayed me with the black pieces. Not good, just not good. So I took on c5, he took on a4, getting rid of my defense. And here I thought, this is the only thing I can do. The position's about equal. So it's not like he caught me and I'm losing. He caught me and it's equal. Maybe black is microscopically better. Black can continue the game here by playing rook c8, trying to mate. Also, black can maybe continue the game like this, trying to go for back rank. But it never works. It actually never works. He's not in time to checkmate me because he has his own problems on the back rank. And bigger problems are the fact that his bishop is hanging. So if he tries to go here, rook b8 is just checkmate. So when I realized that I could play queen c4, even if he could get control of the file, as long as I don't blunder checkmate, I'm gonna win his pawn on b4, and then it's just gonna be a draw. He could try to defend it, but then I put my knight in the center, and this is anybody's game, actually. This is still complicated. So when I played queen c4, I realized I knew what he was gonna do. Remember I told you in the beginning of the video that the best thing for him is to make a draw? I knew right away what he was gonna do. He was gonna take my queen, he was gonna take the knight, he was gonna take the pawn. Why? Because this is a dead draw. Dead draw. First of all, opposite colored bishops. Second of all, 4 pawns on the same side. Yes, I have a slightly damaged structure, but if I lose one of these pawns, I should be stoned to death. And we just repeated moves. So right away, both of us knew what was, we were done. The game was over. And in a classical game at this level, this is game over. No point playing on. Again, white will trade the rook on a light square on the back rank, and that's that. So the tournament ended. Now what's funny is I actually gained rating for this game because my opponent's higher rated than me. It was not a great game. To be honest with you, it was not a great game from the opening. I don't think I was in a great mindset to even play this game after playing against Julio yesterday. And on top of that, in the back of my mind was like, the kid needs a draw for the norm. It's kind of a weird game. I showed up wanting to play for a win. Then I kind of sat there going, why did I put all my opening advantage is gone now. It's just kind of an equal game. And I did check the database afterward. It is better to put the bishop on here, but it's fine. We learn. We're going to have more games in the future where stuff like this can happen. And the tournament is over. Tournament is over, and I actually got second place. My opponent got an IM norm. Congratulations to him. That's his second IM norm. My previous opponent, Julio Suarez Gomez, he actually got a GM norm. So it was funny because I was leading the tournament halfway through, but these guys were in second and third place, and they both got norms. And it ultimately came down to that second game. Julio Suarez, actually, it's his second Grandmaster norm, and he's 24, 95 or something. So yeah, guy's like a Grandmaster. I mean, he's probably going to get the title very soon. If I had to lose to one guy in the tournament, I lost to the best player, probably.